Hello and happy 2017!
Happy 2017!
It's a brand new year.
It's a new year, January 1st. Here we are.
Good to see you guys. I'm Coleman and this is Lisa. We're the co-founders of Liat Co., a lifestyle publication produced out of this here 1983 Volkswagen Westphalia, currently parked in Saguaro National Park, west of Tucson, Arizona, where it is sunny and stopped raining.
Finally, it's been raining so much in the desert.
Yeah, so normally on Sunday afternoons we bring you a weekly high and low, tell you what we've been up to and what's on our radar. Things are going to be a little bit different this week. We're doing a recap of 2016, so we're highlighting sort of a best of. We're going to cover camping, hotels, some great runs we went on, cafes and dive bars from our favorite spots that we've been to since we left Toronto at the end of May.
Yes, we are.
So why don't we start with camping? Seems appropriate right out here in the middle of the desert. Lisa, what was your a standout campsite for you?
We camped in so many amazing places. Even where we are right now is awesome. But I really love the Living Forest, which is on Vancouver Island, in Nanaimo. Really gorgeous spots there. It's on the water, giant trees around. They're very well spaced out. Some awesome running and hiking trails. So that's a standout for me for sure.
Yeah, and having the benefit of being next to Nanaimo, which is such a cool and funky medium-sized Canadian city that often gets overlooked when people go to the island, is a huge benefit for that campsite. I'm going to bring it to the exact other side of Canada, to Meat Cove, Nova Scotia, sort of the northern tip of that province. There's an awesome family-run campsite there where we parked our van on this sloping, grassy embankment that runs down into this bay right on the ocean. They had a chowder hut that sold beer also on the property, so you could get local mussels or local chowder from the fishing boats right down in the harbor that you could hear toll in the morning. So that was a really, really standout moment for our camps.
Yeah, we got to see a thunderstorm there also, and we turned the back of our van into a little living room and got to storm watch. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was really cool. And so there was many campsites that we paid for, many that we just sort of drove off into the bush or camped on government land. But we also spent quite a bit of time in hotels and had some really nice, luxurious stays at plenty. One of the really standouts for me was in Victoria, British Columbia, Hotel Rialto. So we got hooked up by the tourism board. Thanks very much for that. And put up here. We didn't know much about it. We walked into this sort of unassuming building in an old part of town. And the hotel rooms are just gorgeous. We had a suite. They've always been redone recently. Beautiful big bathtub, which is one of my favorite things to do when we check into a hotel room, is soak in a tub. So we had a very nice couple of days staying there. How about you, Lise?
My favorite hotel is also in British Columbia. Probably my favorite hotel in all of Canada, I would say, is the Fairmont Pac Rim. Again, really awesome bathtubs. They have giant soaker tubs that overlook the harbor, and so you can just be sitting there relaxing and sort of watching the
world. And it's like a seated tub, so you're actually sitting like this, and the tub is up here, and then you're like looking out at the corner. And
amazing, amazing bathrooms, amazing hotel. They also have a really great lobby bar. They have live music, and so you can go and have a cocktail, and even if you're not staying in the hotel, I highly recommend just going to their lobby bar and enjoying yourself, because it is a stunning space.
Yeah, and a real easy way to tap into the Vancouver scene. Okay, what else? Coffee shops. We spend a lot of time in coffee shops. Obviously, we're strapped to Wi-Fi as often as we can. The huge standout is Brambles Bakery in Merritt. Full disclosure, it's run and owned by my sister and my mother, so we're a bit biased, but it in a lot of ways represents what we love about so many Canadian coffee shops. It has great Wi-Fi, first of all. It has great coffee. It has delicious food that is produced right there and supports local farmers and whatnot. And it's sort of the cultural center. So in small towns, often there's sort of a lack of a place where people can come together, and coffee shops have really been one of those types of businesses that have stepped up and provided that for a lot of cities, and certainly Brambles is doing that in Merritt.
Also delicious gluten-free offerings, and not gluten-free, the sticky buns. Everyone in the world needs to eat one of these.
And my mom and sister always give me hugs.
Free hugs at Brambles. You heard it here first.
Yeah. But that's not, there are so many great cafes in Canada. Another one that stuck out from a small town was the Dancing Chicken in Nova Scotia.
Liverpool.
In Liverpool, Nova Scotia, where we spent some time at a friend's surf house. Thank you for putting us up there. And I guess I'll transition right there into favorite runs, because that was the site of one of my favorite runs from our whole trip. We had come from Toronto and headed east first, so when we arrived in Liverpool, that was the first time that we were on the ocean, and we certainly took advantage of it to get out and trot along the seaside. And when you haven't seen the ocean for a while, it has a way of invigorating you. So when we were there for 2 weeks, we probably went on like 3 or 4 10-kilometer plus runs in that time.
Also on the ocean, as far as oceanside runs go, in La Jolla, where we stayed for a couple weeks, just outside of San Diego, we went on some really epic runs along the coast, and beautiful scenery. But then also what's so great is being able to stretch on the beach afterwards. It's just, you've got this amazing view, and it really is like nothing else.
And the homes that you can see there are really impressive.
Yes.
So you get to like run by and imagine the lavish lives that everyone lives there.
As much as I love the coastal runs, I also really love the run that we did outside of Calgary at Fish Creek Park, which is the second largest
urban provincial park
in Canada.
I think so.
So it has all different kinds of trails, very well marked trails. You sort of run through these different marshy areas. You can go up and down if you're looking for some incline in your run, or you can
in and out of the riverbed.
Just stay on a flat
River
surface.
Valley.
It's a really, really cool spot that we discovered.
Yeah.
So bars, dive bars is the other thing that we love to explore when we're checking out a new city. Yeah,
it's also sort of got the pulse of the cultural scene that we like to take, that particular pulse anyway. And plus, there's so much good beer to be had in Canada these days, and in America. Toronto favorites. So obviously we know that city well, and there are some great dive bars there, including Wide Open on Spadina, which is just a tiny little hole in the wall. It's got art from local graffitiists on the walls, and a couple of bartenders at most at one point. Cash only, like use the bathrooms if you need to, but make sure and wash your hands because they're gross as hell. But we absolutely love it.
Also, the Rhino in Toronto, another great spot. We will go there and drink with friends, but also they're fine if you want to bring your laptop there. They've got Wi-Fi, and a really great patio in the summertime.
It's a really cool hangout.
And then where else in Canada did we like?
Also in Victoria, on Vancouver Island, is a place called Big Bad John's, which I highly recommend wandering into on a Sunday afternoon. We sat there at the Wood and drank with a couple of locals and got to know the bartender and a bit about the history of the area and that particular building. I think that bar's been there for 50 years or something. It had a remake 10 years ago, but it's like this perfect mix of Western stickiness and like local authenticity. Yeah. So those are some of the highlights. I mean, there's so many more. We're going to put together a piece for liatco.com and give links and photos and social media embeds for all this stuff that we've just talked about. And we hope you'll head to the site to check that out.
So 2016, awesome year for us, and we're really looking forward to 2017, which Canada's 150th birthday. So while we are in the US right now, we are so stoked to be back in Canada, and rediscovering some of these places and things that we just talked about, and then also sort of uncovering some new and exciting runs and trails and camping spots and coffee shops and all that good stuff into 2017. Just
really getting into what it means to be Canadian in the 150th year of our country's being.
Yeah.
So thanks to all of you for watching and for reading and for commenting. And if you fed us or watered us or put us up or said hi to us on the road or gave us directions, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to share it with all you, and look forward to another year of adventures.
Okay, high five.